Hi guys, it's your girl B Michelle coming at you with another Dollar Tree DIY. So using some wood glue, I glued 15 of the blocks together to create my longest rectangle. So it's going to be a variety of shapes, and the longest, you're going to do 2 of the longest ones. I also use some craft sticks to secure these to give them extra support, but you want to wait to do the craft sticks at the end. I also use this chain from the Dollar Tree. These are out for the Halloween season. So I took the chains and I'm gluing the first 2 together. Well, actually I glued the whole piece kind of together to make the chain straight, but that part is really not necessary. You can skip this step if you wanted to. So I created 2 of the rectangle shapes with the 15 pieces, I'll say 15 by 3. So I used 2 of those, and then I also created a 12 length by 6 of the blocks together for the middle piece. And I just kind of laid those out, and with the chain, I'm just gluing the chain down to the longest 2 pieces, which is the 15 blocks by the 3. And I'm using some E6000 as well as some hot glue to just kind of glue along the sides of the rectangle. So it should look something like this. The next size shape is 12 by 6. So 12 of the blocks by 6 of the blocks. And that's the shape that I'm working with here. I also stacked a set of blocks together, stacking them on top of each other to create some height. So using some wood glue, I'm gluing those stacks of 3 down to the 12 by 6 frame, and I just have it positioned on top of the 15 by 3 so I can kind of center everything up so all of this can be glued together. So you just want to line those up, and this is where I'm showing you want to do your craft sticks last so you can have room to place these other blocks to stack. It's going to hold better if you place these first and then place your craft sticks at the end. But I kind of got ahead of myself. So this is how it looks. I turned it over and I'm just trying to mark where it's going to be glued. And I have all 4 of those stacks of 3 on top of, underneath the 12 by 6 frame. So just using the wood glue to kind of place those, down to glue everything together. So the next frame I use is a set of 9 by 4 of the blocks, and this is a stack of 4 blocks that I glued together to create an even higher height than the last set. And to have something to hold my mirrors, I glued 9 more blocks together, a set of 2 of those, so the mirrors can rest on those. And I just used some wood glue to glue those on top of the 9 by 4 frame. And I did make a mistake with gluing that 9 by 4 frame together. All of the other frames, I glued the longer pieces on the outside and the shorter piece on the inside, but I made a mistake on that one, so it is a little bit longer than the other 2 sconce sets of 9 by 4s that I made. So moving on to the sconce, this is a set of 9 by 4 frames. So you want to do 2 of those if you want to create these sconces. And I'm using 1 block, laying it across. This is going to be the bottom part. So 1 block laying with the length of the frame, and then 1 block turned the opposite direction. And I'm just placing some craft sticks on the back too, but I also put a block at the top and the bottom just to give that support so it can be even. And then I turn it over. And you also want to lay another block long ways on top of that one that's going the opposite direction so you can have something to place your middle frame on. So it should look something like this. So following the same steps with the chain, and I actually separated the chain. So you can use 1 whole chain for each sconce. So you just want to separate it, make it half. But when you place yours down, you just want to kind of do it to where it's going to be even on the sconce. I actually did not place mine correctly, so I had to use some craft sticks to kind of fill in for the chain to touch at the top. So just following those same steps, using some E6000 and some hot glue and gluing those sides. And as you can see here, I still had a little bit of chain that couldn't reach the top of the frame, and it wasn't positioned to lay on the side. So I cut some craft sticks and just doubled that up and just kind of glued it on the inner part of the frame so that that chain can touch that craft stick so it can fill in. But you won't have to do that if you kind of position it before you get to the end to make sure that your chain is going to be on there correctly. And guys, let me apologize if this video seems a little rushed. It's actually delayed with me putting it out and trying to cram everything down into 15 minutes or less. With this DIY, there's a lot of details, so I do apologize, but I'm trying to show you all the important parts, even though it may seem a little rushed. So for the next frame, it's going to be a 6x2. And you just glue that on top just like you saw there. I also created 6 of these frames that are 3x1. So you'll have 2 for each sconce, and then 2 are going to go on the bigger piece as well. So I also stacked together two of the blocks together to create that height. And that's going to be the height for the mirror for the sconce. So those stacks of 2 is where you'll place your mirror. So back to the 3x1 frames, I also placed some blocks on the bottom of those because that's going to be the connection piece where we glue those down. Well, you can see it here. That's what I used to glue down to the frame. So it should look something like this. So I went back to the larger frame and I wasn't pleased. I painted it gold. So I wasn't really thrilled with the color that it came out. So I wanted to paint it something else. So I started painting white and I didn't like the white. So I went back and painted it gold again. Still didn't like it. So I decided to add some Mod Podge and glitter. This was never a part of my original plan. I did not want the glitter, but I think overall it turned out pretty nice in the end. So this is optional, however you want to paint it, whatever color, however you want to bling it, that's totally up to you. So once I had my Mod Podge and glitter, I did this on both the sconces as well as the larger piece. I'm gluing my mirror down to my frames. So on the sconce, I just glued that one mirror. And it also, with the mirrors, these are the mirrors from the Dollar Tree. I, of course, had some of the older style mirrors with the beveled edges. But I do believe that this made the project a little bit heavier. So the newer mirrors would probably work better as far as weighing the project down. And on the larger piece, I glued that set of 3x1 frames on the ends, on that space that was open on the top. I'm sorry, there was a space that was open where I did not put my bling, and it's just right there in the center at the end of the mirror basically, but it's on the second layer. And I'm just gluing my mirrors on. I attached 3 of the mirrors using the E6000 and some hot glue. And you just want to allow everything to dry. Like I said, bling it however you want to, and that's going to be up to you as far as the color. So once I have everything set, I flipped it over and I added more craft sticks to make sure everything is secure. I also added some string lights to mine. Now the lighting choice, you can do this with or without lights. It's totally up to you. I used 2 packs of the string lights, but I didn't use the string lights from the Dollar Tree. You can use the ones with the remote. That's totally up to you if you don't want to be bothered with lifting it to turn it off and on. So I used 2 sets of string lights, and I also use a push light in the center, so I will have to lift it or reach my hand in to turn on the push light if I wanted to have it on. But I also glued a set of 9 side by side to have something to, and a set of 3 side by side. This is just to support the set of 9, so I can have something to attach this to the wall. You can use whatever method of hooks that you want. I chose to use the Sawtooth hooks, and I'm gluing 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. So I have 2 sets of 9 glued side by side to have something to hold on, have something to attach the Sawtooth hinge or whatever you call this up here. So anyway, this is the final look, you guys. And also you can turn it the other direction too. It's totally up to you in which direction you want to place your hooks to hang it on the wall. But I do recommend using the hooks. I did originally use some command strips, but I found it very difficult to take this off the wall before I placed that set of 9 side by side. But I will say I did not try the command strips again after I placed that set of 9, those 2 sets of 9 on the back. That will probably give it something better to support using those command strips. So they may still work using those blocks on the back, but I'm just going to stick with using it Sawtooth for mine. You can do however you desire to do, but just keep in mind that this is, it's not necessarily fragile, but those are some thin lines with those rectangle shapes that you're using. And these are Dollar Tree products, so they're not going to be the most durable. I mean, this is very sturdy, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be the best quality, the most durable products that you can use. So I'm just recommending using some other method other than the command strips, but that's totally up to you guys. Anyway, you guys, I've talked enough. I rambled enough, and somebody's going to say, oh, she talks too much, but hey, this is what I do. Anyway, you guys, love you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And you can share this video. Don't be stingy. Share this video. So anyway, you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to watch. And I'll put a description, put everything in the description box that I use. And you guys, give me some feedback. Tell me what colors you would have painted this or how you would have designed it. Well, no, not necessarily how you would have designed it, but how you would have painted it, because it's a B. Michelle original design. You can create it however you want to create it and make it your own, but this is the B. Michelle creation here. So, but yeah, you can tell me how you would have designed it. I'm just being silly, you guys. Anyway, you guys, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and give me some feedback. Tell me what colors you would try or how you would do yours if you were to create this project. So until next time, you guys, love you guys. Bye.